Hey, what's going on, everyone? Sly here with Flo. And Flo, Brian Baldinger talked about the pass rush and kind of how it's not really getting there, man. It seems like it's kind of non-existent, and also the run game, how bad that's been. But he gives a few suggestions of what we should maybe do. Let's check this out.
So, how I want to, continue to go on that D line, because that was the strength of the team, right? That, at least going into it, they spent 45% of the cap on these guys. Armstead, Hargrave, you're not seeing much. There was a couple of plays with Chase Young where he didn't set the edge, and the toss play went right in his direction, and he's 20 yards upfield, allowing Jones to just one cut and go, and then Bosa getting chipped and blocked by wide receivers and getting stood up by a wide receiver was shocking to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, you got to. You just got to play more physical, and you can't let that happen. You can't run toss crack. They ran toss crack, and you got Dontavius Wicks basically blocking Chase Young, but there's technique to that.
Yeah.
You should never get cracked by a wide receiver. First of all, you got to see it. You got to see it before it happens. You got to play with awareness. There's a reason why they got to cut split, and so the linebackers got to be talking. And then when it comes, you can't be surprised by it. Mm-hmm. You can't just run upfield and let Aaron Jones go for 10 yards around the corner.
Right.
You got to defeat that block at the point and not let yourself get blocked. And that's all technique. And so hopefully those guys are working on it this week, because Detroit runs the exact same play.
Yeah.
But their running back is a lot faster than Aaron Jones.
Yes.
Aaron Jones is good in this game.
Well, Jameer Gibbs and David Montgomery.
Yeah.
Aaron Jones is great. But, that 53-yard run, he just gashed him.
Yeah.
He's off to the races now. But this kid, Jameer Gibbs, he did the exact same thing against Tampa last week.
So how do you get heat on Jared Goff? Because his defensive line, we've taken a lot of calls. We've had a lot of conversations about that front four. It's been underwhelming, Baldy, to say the least. I thought it was underwhelming against Green Bay. I thought it was underwhelming over the last month of the season. They bring in Chase Young, Brady Gregory. I don't know what's going on with this defensive line, Baldy, but what do you see from them on why they're not sustaining consistent pressure on the quarterback or slowing down the run game?
Well, they're not getting any quick escapes in their pass rush. And so quick escapes is what makes quarterbacks move. Whether it's a spin, whether it's an arm over, whether it's just a head slap, whatever it is. Quick escapes is what makes quarterbacks move. But right now, you're watching Rasheed Walker's a 7th round pick out of Penn State. He's just staying in front of Chase Young and Bosa out there. And Zach Tom is a 4th or 5th round pick. They're young kids. And they stayed in front of those guys all game long for the most part. I thought Nick played really hard and affected, a lot of plays, but I didn't see much from anybody else. And so you're going to have to probably go to your blitz game, whether it's blitz and Fred, running some twist stunts. You're probably going to have to add a 5th rusher to get steady pressure right now against Detroit. Because their line, Penei Sewell, you could beat them, but you better have your best pass rush that you've had all year to beat them. And all those guys can get beat. They got a backup left guard in there right now. Ragnow is just they play really well together. Yeah. And they played well against Tampa. And Tampa didn't blitz nearly as much as they normally do last week. But Jared Goff was pretty much untouched.
All right, so he's talking about, bringing the heat, bringing more blitzes. We're going to have to bring 5, which I get, I like that idea, because with the front four, it's kind of rough. We had 0 sacks this game, and it seems like our guys aren't winning one-on-one. They're getting close. I think Nick Bosa probably had the good game. Everyone else I thought was mediocre. This is what I would do, man. I think it was week 12, 13, coming off. No, actually it was week 9, coming off the bye week. We did something different. What did we do? We brought a 5-man front. That, to me, remember the game against Jacksonville? That's what we introduced it. And it looked actually really good. We were stopping the run. At the time, ETN was one of the hottest runners out there, and his ass just got stuffed. And the formation, I believe it was Chase Young on one end. At the time it was Farrell on one end. Nick Bosa on the other end. Then inside in the middle was, I believe, Hargrave. And then to the left side was Kinlaw, and to the right was, who was it? Armstead. Which, to me, I kind of like that. Personally, though, how kind of tweak it a little bit, because remember how we had it where we had Nick Bosa and Chase Young next to each other, and that's how we got able to get pressure. So what I would do personally, have Nick Bosa on the end. Next to him, Chase Young. In the middle, either Kinlaw or Sebastian Joseph Day, followed by Hargrave. And at the end, someone that knows how to set the edge. He did in college, did it last week against the Rams, Robert Beal Jr. I'm just, 2 weeks ago. So what do you think about this idea? What do you think about blitzes? Because we need to stop the damn run. We need to get after Jared Goff's ass. But what do you think about this whole situation?
Yeah, obviously that front five is one idea because that game, like you said, not only did it stop Travis Etienne, but Trevor Lawrence, man, he was under pressure that whole entire game.
I think that was the best game we had the most pressure.
That was the game we had the most pressure, and you could tell, man, freaking Trevor Lawrence, pretty solid quarterback besides the final week of the season. He was he was turning that ball over that week because he had no time to even think, man. That guy was trying to get out of that pocket because these guys were going after him. So that's for sure one thing. But as far as what Baldy says, I think we do have to bring some pressure like that because right now our front four just isn't getting there. Like you said, they're almost there, but almost doesn't get you freaking W's. You got to sack the quarterback. You got to put them in third and long. That's the key to freaking winning because nowadays with so many rules favoring the offense, you got to put them in third and long, because if not, it's usually 4-down territory nowadays. So you don't want to have that happen. You need to get some sacks out there. What are they going to do? I know sometimes they said Fred Warner or Dre on blitzes, but I actually like Ryan Clark when he blitzes, man, because he knows he has that timing down. Logan Ryan, my bad. Logan Ryan, my mistake. But I like when he blitzes. He did that in the Rams game. He was in the backfield a couple times. How does that work, though? He's going to have to replace Ambry Thomas. So it's almost like a 2-for-1 in my book. If you do that, put him out there to swap with Ambry Thomas and send him on an occasional blitz, because Jared Goff, like you said last time, he's a pocket quarterback, so you got to get to him. Don't let him survey the field and just dissect us because he has the receivers on that team, plus that tight end. They're pretty solid offense, so we can't give him all the time in the world to freaking throw because even though he's not the most elite of quarterbacks, he's been pretty far in the playoffs, and he will make us pay.
Talking about Ambry Thomas, actually, Brian Baldinger talked about it. He said he told the guys on 95.7 the game, do you guys have anyone else to play other than Ambry Thomas? Because you cannot be getting beat like that. And, he was just straight up saying it, dude. He was like, hey, dude, you guys need to get someone else because he is not doing it for you. He's not cutting it for you. Now, as far as Jared Goff, he is he stays in the pocket. He's slow, not mobile. So when I was here thinking that, my first time on, Sunday, I was thinking about, now we're good. But then I remembered who's another dude that tore us up who was stationary in the pocket. Freaking Kirk Cousins. Why was he tearing us up? We got no damn pressure on him. Remember that game? That game was so horrible. That was probably our worst defensive game because Cousins went off on us, man. Because we couldn't get nobody to get at this damn quarterback. So we have to do something. Steve Wilkes needs to dial it up, and Kyle Shanahan, get involved in the freaking meetings on defense. You have to be there and be like, hey, this is what's going on, man. We're not getting that pressure. And obviously, some of it is personnel. When you have guys like Givens who can't get pressure, Kinlaw who can't get pressure, Farrell couldn't get pressure, but he's not even going to be there, so it doesn't matter. Gregory, no pressure at all. That was not the greatest game of Chase Young either. I really didn't see much from him, especially in that run game. I thought he was absolutely horrible. That's why I'm saying move him in and then have Bosa and Beal on the outside. So something's got to get done, man. That's why I was so harping. Me and you were harping. We got to get someone else. Justin Houston, Jordan Willis. Like, come on. Like, we got to bring someone else in here. The Lions, they weren't afraid, dude. This week, who'd they bring in? Like, who they brought in? They brought in Zach Ertz. They're not afraid. They're like, fuck, man. We have some issues. Laporta's not 100%. We're going to go out and bring someone else. And that's what I thought the Niners should do. Bring another pass rusher because that right now, that's our weakness. And something's got to get done. Sebastian Joseph Day, he's going to play that much too. You got to get some effing pressure too, man. You can't be a little pussy out there. I'm sorry. You have to be able to get pressure in the NFC Championship game. Like, I don't know. I think he played over 20 snaps. He was okay, but he kind of, to me, him and Kinlaw were like the same. We got to have someone when Hargrave goes out, Armstead goes out. Got to have someone to get pressure. And this is the time, man. What's Armstead known for? Playoff football. It's time for him to get that pressure, get a few sacks. Because I'm telling you, if we get sacks, I'm saying the lucky number right now is 5. If we get 5 sacks on Jared Goff, we're going to that damn Super Bowl, man. There's no question about it. We are going to go to that Super Bowl because that means we're going to have not only 5 sacks, but a lot of freaking pressures.
Hurry up.
And that's going to cause what? Turnovers, exactly. So we have to get pressure. Something has to be done. It's not going to work with just the front four. If we do that front four, do some exotic stunts like we used to. I haven't seen nothing. It's been very vanilla with Steve Wilkes. I know with D'Amico Ryans, we were running a lot of stunts. All the time it was like Bosa, he was outside, then going in. Why? Because he doesn't want to get chipped. He always gets chipped. So you got to do something. You got to do something. I do not want to see the vanilla 4-man pressure just like that, because right now it's not working.
Yeah, that pretty much that vanilla formation, like you said, it's gonna pretty much be a recap of the Vikings game. Remember that game? They didn't even have Justin Jefferson.
I know,
Still
we
got
got
freaking tore up.
torched.
This Lions freaking receiving core is a lot better than that Vikings receiving core. So we just can't give him time, man. We've seen what happens to Jared Goff when he gets pressure in his face. He kind of collapses for the most part.
And he's gonna throw you one or two, even if he has a good protection. He's gonna throw you a few, so you have to be ready for that. You have to be ready. But if you do get pressure on him, we're talking about interceptions. He's gonna fumble the damn ball. If you touch him, he's gonna fumble that damn ball. So turnovers are key, man. We have to win that turnover battle. We have to go all in. So whatever Steve Wilkes had in his 30+ years of coaching, all the things he learned, you got to do it now. Don't just be vanilla, because that ain't going to cut it against the Lions.
All right, well, you guys let us know in the comments what you guys think about Baldy's take. Like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell. See y'all next time.
Peace.